The papacy and canonization of St. John Paul II have been well documented, and most of us can picture the Pope in his white attire waving to the crowds during his many trips around the world. But before he was Pope, before he was Cardinal or Archbishop, before he was even a priest, he was Karol Wojtyła, the son of Karol and Amelia, born in the small town of Wadowice, Poland. In July, Chief Videographer Bill Pekosha and I traveled with Catholic Communications in a pilgrimage to Poland. In my second part of my special series, In the Footsteps of St. John Paul II, we visit this special little town where young Karol Wojtyła spent his childhood days. Wadowice, a small city of about 20,000 people some 30 miles southwest of Krakow, has gotten international recognition as the birthplace of St. John Paul II. Catholic Communications pilgrims walked in the childhood footsteps of this beloved saint as they visited the home he was born in and the church in which he was baptized.
He lived next door to the church. When I say next door, I mean like 25 feet. He could look out his bedroom window and there was a church right there.
In the church of the Basilica of the Presentation of the Blessed Virgin Mary, Father Peter Gregory celebrated Mass, and the pilgrims were able to see the baptismal font where Karol Wojtyła was baptized.
To come and be in the church where he was presented and dedicated to the Lord through his baptism, it gives us that inner joy to say, thank you, Lord, for my baptism. Do we get in touch with our own baptism? Do we say, thank you, Lord, for my gift of faith? Thank you for the opportunity that I have been given to be chosen to be here.
This was the same church in which young Karol served as an altar boy and made his first communion. His boyhood home next door has been turned into a museum, as has the square in the center of town. Everywhere one looks, there are reminders, statues of our Karol Wojtyła, as the Poles like to refer to St. John Paul II. The house contains many family treasures of those simpler days. Family pictures, his first scapular, his sneakers and his skis, his mother's handbag and her sewing machine. The simple rooms, a dining room, kitchen, and bathroom are preserved exactly as they were in the 1920s. From an early age, Karol Wojtyła faced hardships as they tested his trust in God. His mother died when he was 9, and 3 years later he lost his only brother, a doctor, to scarlet fever. His father died when he was 20, and friends said he knelt for 12 hours in prayer and sorrow at his bedside. Yet to his last days, the late Holy Father remembered fondly his Wadowice youth and places associated with it. Also, he tried to include the town when possible in his visits to Poland. The last time John Paul II was in Wadowice was in 1999, meeting with some 200,000 young people after Mass in the square. He fondly recalled the days of his youth to them. Racing out of the schoolyard, he and his friends would challenge each other to see how many cream cakes they could eat from the local bakery. This story has become very popular for the shop owners here in Wadowice, as everywhere you look in every restaurant, you can find kremówka papieska, the Pope's cream puff. Smaczne. Yes, sweet memories of a man who was and still is so beloved by the people of his native Poland.